Hey there, I'm Brittni Schroeder, and business and marketing are my jam. I'm here to walk you step by step through this crazy thing we call business. I'm a small town girl, chocolate eating, Diet Coke drinking mom, marketing guru, automation Jedi, and all around good time. This is your weekly dose of all things business and life, sprinkled with some fun. This is the Redefine Business Podcast. Welcome to another episode of Redefine Business Podcast. I'm excited for my guest today because I feel like she is like an OG because I have not heard of this niche before. And so when I stumbled across her, I was like, oh, I have to have you on my podcast. I want to have you speak at my summit, like all of the things. But Rachel Starr is our guest today, and she is a Summit and Community Strategist. So Rachel, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
We just had a great conversation, and I hope that I can say this and not get in trouble on my podcast. But I was like, I Googled Rachel before because I was like, I like to Google my guests to see what, just I like to stalk them a little bit. And Rachel's name pulled up but it wasn't this Rachel, it was an adult performer. Let's put it that way so I don't get like beeped out or canceled. So we got a good chuckle before we hit record because I said, oh, I Googled you and it wasn't what I was expecting. So
hopefully this doesn't get us in trouble. I always joke that I'm not that flexible. That's my joke.
Funny. It's so funny. Well, welcome. Well, Rachel, tell my listeners just a little bit about you and what you do and how you got to doing this, how you found this like niche.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, about 15-ish years ago, I was like a lot of other people, and I was a single mom and trying to figure out how to navigate showing up and being a mom and also working. And so I decided to pivot into my own business and started off doing branding and website design because I have an eye and an aesthetic that's kind of great. But I didn't love it. And I was kind of always searching for that component that I was looking for. And I came across a platform called Circle. And they're a third-party like software company you can use and build your own community, private community on. So no Facebook, no noise of all that regular social media, but you can really cultivate a space for the people that you want, and you can show up for them and you can be their person there, or you can facilitate them being there for each other. And once I found Circle, I've loved it. I've been working inside the walls for a little over 5 years now. I'm a certified partner with theirs. And back many, many years ago, I was an event planner. And so I kind of put the two things together and started doing summit strategy. So I help people host and make their summits come to life, predominantly using Circle as their main software platform. And I love it. It's so much fun to get to connect with other entrepreneurs, and it's just great. It's great to build community and then be able to like sit and support and do all those fun things.
Yeah. And we were talking a little bit before we hit record that I had done a couple summits. I'm doing my third one in 2026, but it is a lot of work. And if you don't understand, I think you have to have a knowledge of like technology because there's so many moving parts with hosting a summit, and it's just like a lot. And if you want it to be successful, there are a lot of key things you need. And so hiring somebody to kind of like lay that out for you would be huge. Like I kind of like figured it out on my own, but I think, gosh, if I would have had somebody that would have like walked me through it and helped me set it up, it would have saved me not just time, but just like the things that I messed up on. Like, oh, like you don't realize until you do it that, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. And so it's, like I love that you do that. Can you talk a little bit about like summits and kind of how do they work as far as like what are the benefits of hosting a summit? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, a summit is a giant lead magnet. Now, it's a lead magnet like on steroids, don't get me wrong. And you're right. the lift is heavy, but the reward is also there. I do get a little apprehensive when someone's like, yeah, do you just throw together a summit and it'll take no time? And they take a lot of time. They take a lot of planning, a lot of organization. And so I never like to have people feel like, oh yeah, I'm just do this. You have to be committed. That's 100% the case. But it is a really great lead magnet, and it's a really great revenue generator if done right. And if you do it right with proper workflows and great tripwires and great follow through, and you check all those workflows out, you can actually make a decent chunk of money off of a really well done summit with a great lineup and all the tools in place. But it's more than just giving them the summit in, wrapped up in a bow. It's all about creating engagement over the time that they're there, driving them into a community space, having them interact with one another. Because on the flip side of that, now that you've grown this list, as this lead magnet, you need to have that next offer ready and teed up for them too. So it's really for us, we have a summit we're in the process of doing right now for ourselves. We're launching a new Circle community in the App Store. And our big launch is our summit. And on the other side of that is all about growing our community for long-term engagement so that we can have monthly recurring revenue. So it's all about growth and making it so that I can have some passive income too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think one of the important things that you touched on is it's the community. And we talked briefly about this before we hit record, that it is you're working with a bunch of different entrepreneurs who have the same ideal audience as you, but you're not in competition. And it's rising tides lifts all ships, and we can help each other if it's done right, and that we all have that same mentality, hey, I'm going to help you because it helps me, kind of thing. And so that community is so important. So can you just touch a little bit about how, just maybe touch on the strategies of if you were thinking of doing a summit, what would be the first steps?
So my very first step whenever I start to lay out a summit with any client or even my own is I pull out a whiteboard. So I just use a Miro board, and I literally lay out the basics, right? I lay out how many days I want it to be. I lay out if I'm going to do audio, video, a combination of both. And then I start laying out what my sessions are going to look like. So I'm a big proponent, if you're going to do multi-days, to give each day a track so that it allows people to stay focused on a particular theme for the day. It helps with marketing too. But then I actually will lay out what sessions I really want to see on each of those days. And that's sort of my first step, is then I kind of can get an idea of how many speakers do I need to locate? What the lift is going to look like. And I'm also looking at dates of best time of year to actually put my summit out into the world, obviously, as well.
Yeah. And those are things that I think that people don't think of when they are, without having somebody who's done it before, because there are certain times of the year where, there's even right now, it's the end of the year. There's kind of this the soft spot where it's you can't get too close to the holidays, but it's still, you know what I mean? But then it's there's still time to do a big push before the end of the year. But you don't want to get too close to the holidays, because then people start to check out. And, it's the same with if your ideal audience is a stay-at-home mom, summers can be tricky, you really understanding the market and having somebody who has done it before is just so key, such a key component of doing that.
And it does depend on your audience, 100%. There's a sweet spot of October if you're going to do a fall summit. And that's it. You're all you have for your sweet spot. And you have to be careful if you're trying to work with other business owners who have bought into the fact that they feel the need to do some big Black Friday push, then they're busy and they might not have time to get a session to you, get an all access pass item to you. So you have to be really cautious that you are planning really far in advance so that they know that they owe you something, and just nudging and that sort of thing. I have one client I work with. She is in the special education space, and we do a summit each year, and we host hers mid-January, and it is perfect timing. Kids have just gone back to school from Christmas break, finally getting that first breather. But you're right. It's knowing the market of who you're serving, and then you can decide when to put your summit out into the world. 9 times out of 10, I would never recommend summer, no matter what your niche is. I mean, I'm sure there's some out there, but summers are tough to get engagement.
Yeah, they really are. And, part of the summit is, it's multifaceted because it's like the first part of it is the planning portion, and that is working with speakers, and that is a lot of work. And then the second part is working with attendees, and that's the second part of it. And so if somebody was thinking about planning a summit, what's the time frame that you recommend giving somebody in to plan it, execute, market, all of the things? Like, what's a good amount of time?
Honestly, I would say a minimum of 8 months. I know that might sound like crazy to a lot of folks, but you'd be surprised how much of a lift each step is. And I think people kind of get lost in that. And I'm saying all the way through to the end, 8 months.
Yeah.
So we started planning the summit we have coming up in a couple of weeks, 9 months out from actual launch date. So it'll be exactly 9 months to the day. We did a team work session and then in-person event planned for a weekend and then hit the ground running with it. But just speaker selection and all of those components, a lot of work. Getting a website set up. I mean, doing things properly takes time. So honestly, I would say at least 8 months. I mean, most summits, I know a lot of people will turn around and do multiple summits in a year. And good luck to them. I'm impressed that they're able to like bring the client experience that they want there. But I do summits in a very particular way that is all about their experience. I want their experience from their first touch point of mine to be luxurious. And even though it's virtual, I still want them to feel like, ooh, this is nice, even though they're in a virtual space. And so all those things are kind of important to me. But again, those actually lead to not one-offs on my list anymore. I'm getting people who go, ooh, I like this. I like how this feels. This is nice. Minimally, they'll come back and attend my next summit, right? So it's all about giving that really great customer experience. And you need time to do that.
Yeah, I agree. When I finished my last summit, I started working like right away on, I only do one a year, but I mean, my assistant and I were like, oh my gosh, like let's start now finding really good speakers. Because I think sometimes that's the part where we want to make sure that it's not necessarily quantity, but it's quality. And it takes time. And really finding good speakers, sometimes really good speakers are like, they're booked out. If they are a good, efficient business owner, they are booked out months. They have 3-6 months. Oh, I can't, I'm launching something on this date. So really you do have to give yourself quite a bit of time for it to be a great summit. So.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And there's not, how you said you only do one a year. Only one is a lot. Like doing a summit every year is a lot. It's also really smart that as soon as you ended the summit, you had that momentum right then and you like kind of dove back into like the next round because you're excited and you're on that like high of things too. And you're right. Like it is all about like finding the right group of people can come in together at that right time too. And you'll have people that have launches. And that's why I say like, for us doing one in late October, we had two really great speakers we had hoped to work with and they couldn't make it work in their schedule, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it is. So I love that. Well, this has been so good. I love that. If you are thinking about doing a summit, reach out to Rachel because I am telling you, as somebody who has done a couple, I wish I would have known that there was somebody that could help me with my summit. So, Rachel, tell them a little bit about your summit. We're going to put that in the show notes because this podcast will probably go out in the next couple of weeks. So tell us about your summit and how people can sign up for your summit.
Perfect. Thanks so much. So Co-Creator Growth Summit is October 22nd. Well, actually, October 21st is our kickoff, but October 22nd is our first day of sessions. We go for 3 days. We have networking live every day. We have panels live every day and pre-recorded sessions. We have a really fun scavenger hunt to win big prizes. We're very excited. I get kind of tired of the same old bingo game, and so I came up with something new and fun. We host our entire summit in our own app, which can be found in the App Store, CoCreator Society, and you can download it for free in either iOS or Google, and attend the summit right there on the go. And our summit is for creative business owners, freelancers who are kind of sick of doing the solo grind and are looking to build community, looking for tech tips and tools to help streamline their businesses and just take them to that next level in the growth cycle.
Love it. Love it. And how can people find you? Tell us where do you hang out? What's your social media? All the things.
So I'm not great at social media because I really love private community, but you can find me at Your Community Strategist, which is my podcast, or you can find me at CoCreator Society, both on Instagram, but I'm actually most active on LinkedIn because I'm a nerd.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Okay. Awesome. I like to end all my podcasts with asking my guests 2 questions. So the first one is, what is a pet peeve, Rachel?
Oh, so my biggest pet peeve is saying you'll do something and you don't actually do it. I'm totally okay if you say you're going to do something and you forget, but then you do it, totally fine. I hate when people say they're going to do something and they never do it. It drives me bonkers.
Same. We were kind of talking about this before. Yes, for sure. Okay. What is a simple pleasure?
Oh, it is my coffee in the morning after my kiddos are out the door, hubby's gone. I get to sit at my desk and like breathe for 20 minutes in the morning and drink my coffee. And I know it's silly, but it's like 10 minutes of like, oh, I get to like be in my spot.
So good. Yeah. So good. I love it. Well, thank you so much. We will put all of Rachel's stuff in the show notes so you can find her and grab a seat to her conference her summit, because it sounds like it's going to be fabulous. So thanks for coming on, Rachel.
Thanks so much for having me. It was wonderful.
Let's not stop the party here. Head on over to my Instagram or Facebook group, Redefine Your Business, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.